Key point 1. Finding fulfilling jobs that excite us. Would you like to discover your goal or purpose that will give your life a deeper meaning and make everything else secondary? Individuals who have achieved sustainable goals and changed the world have certain things in common. They can inspire those around them because they think, act, and communicate in a way that differentiates them from others. More importantly, they all started with why. Discover and explore your own why to live a fulfilling life with a lasting legacy. When searching for your why, stick to principles used by those who have found theirs. Principles anyone can learn. With these principles, you can create businesses or organizations where everyone who works there has a why, the driving force behind each person's desire to change the world. For example, Samuel Pierpont Langley decided that he wanted to be the first person to pilot an aircraft. He had all the necessary human and material resources to succeed, such as working at Harvard, but he lacked a vital element. He didn't have a why. Wilbur and Orville Wright, on the other hand, had no funding, high-level connections, or college education. All they had was a dedicated team inspired by their intense passion for flying. On December 17, 1903, they became the first to operate an airplane in the sky. The Wright brothers succeeded where Langley had failed because they were inspiring leaders who transmitted their passion to their team members. The Wright brothers started with why. Stay tuned to discover how finding the cause will make all the difference in your personal and professional pursuits. You'll also learn about human nature, which will help you relate better to those around you. Key point 2. The benefits of the Golden Circle. The Golden Ratio inspired Simon Sinek to come up with a concept of the Golden Circle, which suggests there is more order than we care to admit or think. Have you ever seen birds flying in a perfectly ordered shape? Or have you ever looked closely at the little symmetrical veins running through leaves? Nature is full of chaos, but it also has order. Human behavior is similar to this. At times, it may seem chaotic, but there are underlying patterns by which it operates. This predictability is helpful when studying motivation. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. Simon Sinek. The Golden Circle comprises 3 concentric circles. The innermost asks why, the middle asks how, and the outermost asks what. Every company or organization knows what they do. However, not many companies can clearly describe why they do what they do. In other words, not the outcome, but the goal or purpose. What do Apple, Southwest Airlines, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and John F. Kennedy have in common? They chose inspiration over manipulation to get people motivated. It didn't matter that their goals were different and their industries were diverse. When you clarify your why, the result will be lasting success. Take Apple, for example. The company stands out because they've found harmony between what they do and why they do it. This harmony gives them authenticity. In whatever industry they dabble, they carry this authenticity with them. The ability to inspire also works at a micro level. You can apply this perspective to your product development process, hiring procedures, corporate culture development, and even sales and marketing. Inspiration is intrinsic to success because it makes people believe in their actions. If a person works out of necessity and obligation, they'll be good at their work, and their results will be satisfactory. But they won't strive to become better at what they are doing. There'll be no urge to improve. On the other hand, employees will learn to be ambitious, constantly aiming for the stars if their manager inspires them. Key point 3. Creating experiences people love. In today's world, manipulation is the norm. Promotions, fear, aspirations, peer pressure, and innovation are external factors that motivate people to take action. The problem is that manipulation ensures transactions but does not create loyalty. Manipulation may be effective in the short term, but only allows for temporary success. Sadly, many leaders opt for manipulation because it achieves results. We often make decisions based on our assumptions and perceived truths, but relying on false or incomplete information will likely yield poor results. Sooner or later, people become aware of the manipulation. This discovery leads to distrust and the negative impression that will keep them from interacting with the source of dishonesty ever again. Many organizations are unaware of the drivers of their business. They conduct research and draw conclusions based on the results of the inquiry. The conclusion they reach, research notwithstanding, may be faulty. Ensure that customers feel valued and understood. General Motors set out to lead the American automotive industry in market share. They did this until the foreign automakers Ford, Chrysler, and AMC entered the field. When Toyota came on board in the 1990s, GM created an incentive strategy to retain its customers. They offered between $500 and $7,000 in incentives to those who bought vehicles from them. It worked for a long time, at least until 2007, when GM lost $729 per vehicle, primarily due to incentives. The inability to sustain the incentive program led to losing customers who had become addicted to receiving cash rewards. The company confused repeated business with loyalty. People may do business with you multiple times, but that doesn't mean they're loyal to you. Loyal customers turn down better products and lower prices because of a sentimental attachment to your company. So don't manipulate people into loving your brand. Instead, focus on creating brand experiences that people want to associate with. Did you know? In 2008, American buyers gave more preference to foreign cars than US-made ones. Key point 4. Keeping purpose in mind. Companies that focus on what they produce can spike our interest, but their goods can still seem unattractive. Nobody cares about the what until the why resonates with them. The best products and processes may be appealing, but insufficient to produce a sense of belonging. A company that tells us why they do what they do will generate loyal customers who share similar beliefs. Their products are not necessarily the best, but we remain faithful to them because they symbolize our ideas. Sometimes people buy products they don't necessarily need out of solidarity with the company's values. Or they may want to support a local business to show appreciation for the community they value. Such decisions may seem impractical or illogical, but they are pretty frequent. Therefore, account for the unpredictability of human behavior when planning your business. There are only two ways to influence human behavior. You can manipulate it, or you can inspire it. Simon Sinek. The golden circle is similar to the human brain in this respect. For example, the what level resembles the neocortex. This part of the brain is responsible for behavior and everything connected, including decision-making and language. Stress and doubt come from focusing on the what instead of asking why and communicating it effectively. Sometimes it's difficult to voice feelings because the decisions and emotions originate in different parts of our brains. We struggle, for example, while explaining why we prefer one subject over the other. There's no exemption with decisions. We find it difficult to explain why we do the things we do. Decisions and justifications for them originate in different parts of our brains. Though gut decisions are associated with the stomach, they come from the limbic brain, which controls decision-making. It can also encourage behavior that goes against a situation's logical and sensible perception. When we are unable to describe what our limbic brain is saying, we fall into doubt and follow the evidence instead. Key point 5. People follow a leader based on trust. Successful businesses can identify customers who share their ideas. A shared identity creates an atmosphere of faith, and this, in turn, breeds loyalty. A sense of value accompanies trust. People find it easier to believe in a business when they can prove that the company is not in it for the money alone. Trust and value are connected because neither can be bought nor transferred without the other. Demonstrate that you share their beliefs to earn people's trust. Your company's why, how, and what must be in equilibrium. So only use tactics consistent with your why to achieve a goal. Ensuring balance will create an environment of value and trust. If you have a leadership position, it doesn't necessarily indicate that you act as one. You successfully lead when people are willing to follow you out of intrinsic motivation. You can achieve a leadership position by several means. It may come from your rank, your earnings, or your wit. However, people don't follow true leaders because of what they have, but the vision they provide and their ability to motivate others to achieve that collective vision. The culture we form helps us to achieve success, not our appearance. You don't have to be rich or highly influential to acquire the position of a leader. What you must do is understand the people with which you are interacting. If your values align, they'll be happy to follow you. If you inspire them, they will be thrilled to improve in your honor. That's how you achieve fantastic results in any field. We build trust by sharing what we believe in with others. The world comprises diverse cultures. For example, French culture differs from American culture. Part of the reason people emigrate is that they may not feel like they fit in the culture in which they were raised. Similarly, corporate culture is the backbone that binds companies together. It is neither products and services nor size and might. Everyone shares these beliefs and values, from the receptionist to the CEO. Key point 6. The importance of updates. Employees that feel like they are an important part of the company will lead it to great success. This success will come from the innovation solutions employees create, because they'll do it for the company's vision and not just for a paycheck. Southwest Airlines is excellent at finding workers who are a fantastic match for the company. Once they can find people who believe in their values, excellent service delivery is a consequence. Herb Kelleher, the company's former leader for 20 years, claimed that attitude is more important than skills because potential employees can easily learn the latter. Skills are practical knowledge, and teaching them is much easier than teaching values. The latter is abstract and deeply ingrained. People base their personalities on core values and beliefs, and the willingness to change attitude can vary from person to person, of course. Some stubborn people refuse to alter their beliefs to accommodate a company, but their viewpoint is worth listening to because they can bring essential insight that the already established institution may lack. But other individuals are willing to change their perspective. This process requires additional effort and time, which is not always available to a company. The success of a company depends on motivated people. If you base your hiring decisions on why from the very beginning, you are much more likely to find a great fit. Success in an organization doesn't solely depend on people with solid resumes or great work ethics. For example, the most outstanding developer at Tesla could be miserable working for Ford and vice versa. Similar companies can evoke different reactions and attitudes, influencing their chances for success. A leader should be able to create an atmosphere where great attitudes can be generated and executed. That's what good leaders should focus on, rather than trying to feed their ego by being the only people generating ideas. Steve Jobs didn't invent all the technology Apple produces. He provided a standard around which the employees at Apple innovate, and the rest is history. Key point 7. Charisma and clarity can unite. Great leaders are charismatic because they know why they do what they do and believe in a cause that is greater than them. Moreover, the leader's charisma inspires and commands loyalty. The vision you chase often influences the type of people you draw into your life. When people are inspired, great things can happen. However, inspiration is not the only thing necessary to turn ideas into action. It is only an ignition. It starts the engine but does not get the vehicle moving. An inspirational leader is just one element of success. Nothing can happen without people who turn dreams and concepts into reality. Success is an accumulation of many efforts. Some people create ideas, while others design them, analyze them, or find practical forms for them. No man is an island. In some cases, one person carries a project independently from the moment of idea conceptualization to the production stage. But these cases are rare. A prolific creation requires many bright minds working on it. These people will create the systems and processes to actualize the vision. The why must connect with the how. There are plenty of examples that illustrate this principle. Bill Gates cast the image, but Paul Allen built Microsoft. Herb Kelleher had Rollin King, who developed the idea for Southwest Airlines based on Kelleher's vision of freedom. Steve Wozniak created Apple, but it was Steve Jobs who clarified the company's why. One person may have the image, or why, but someone else must have the resources, or how. Great organizations thrive when there is a fusion of vision and talent. Vision and mission statements have a similar relationship. The vision statement spells out why the company exists in the first place, while the mission statement describes the path to the future depicted by the vision statement. Trust and skills must exist if this marriage between the why and how is to last a lifetime. A leader should trust their employees and vice versa. Conclusion. Never lose sight of why you do the things you do. Your sense of why will give you the strength to keep going, pushing, and getting up every time you fall. In business, we are always competing against someone else. What if we conducted business differently and decided to make next week better than this week by focusing on making the organization better than when we joined it? Consistency separates great companies from ordinary ones. Few organizations don't have a why, but the real problem is sticking with it once they do. Unhealthy competition sets in for companies that deviate from their why. They choose clout instead of solving problems, seek profit instead of creating satisfied customers, and cannot build a loyal following because they'll do anything to make sales. Decide to eliminate the mentality of comparing yourself with others. Acknowledge the fact that you're not better than anyone else. Focus instead on growing and being better than your last standard. Similarly, leaders diligent about starting with why will find that optimism and innovation reign in their organizations. No matter the size of the company, industry, product, or service, we can change the world by starting with why and working our way outward from there. Try this. Always be open to feedback, both positive and negative. Collaborate or partner with companies that share similar purposes to amplify your impact. Establish metrics to measure how well your business is achieving its purpose-driven goals. And dedicate a portion of profits or resources towards a meaningful cause.